Morning, folks. We got a little bit of rain. We were actually gone when it rained. I had a consultation to do up in New Mexico. Went up there. Somebody ordered some timeless fence and needed a little help, a little guidance, so we went up there to do that. And while I was out, I picked up this 12-volt water pump. We have this water tower here that we built to water the pigs, to water the chickens, and it's hard to get water off of the truck into that tank. It won't siphon, and this little 12-volt pump, got it from Harbor Freight. My daughter actually bought one when they had the horses here, and theirs works pretty good. So I'm gonna test it, see what its limitations are. We may use some of it on our water systems on the camper and first one thing and another, just to have shower water and that sort of thing come in. So I'm really interested in see just exactly how well it does. It has battery terminal clips, you know, alligator clips. You can just clip it to a battery. You got a battery right there. Not sure about that battery, but we've been using it to charge phones. I don't know how, may have a dead cell in it, but we're gonna hook this all up to this pump, and we're gonna transfer that 150 gallons of water into our livestock tank and get it off the truck. I've got another surprise coming today. Actually, we're going to get it, and you're gonna say, what is he doing? I'll explain it to you later. Let's get this water unloaded. So as you can hear, it is pumping water into the tank, running off a 12-volt battery. We put these on a 7-watt panel out by the camper. We use them to charge our cell phones at night. We don't leave our inverter running all night on the camper just to conserve power, so we take and we use a small inverter, and it has a bypass on it. You can just plug a phone up and charge your phone. So our solar system is kind of fragmented. We do a lot of different things. I'm going to get some more solar panels. I ordered some more solar parts this week. You just have to take and buy things as you can. I would love to just go buy a whole brand new solar system, but I have to buy what I can when I can, and I'll show you the products that I buy as I buy them. I want to put a temporary system on the camper that I can use somewhere else later. So I went and I bought it's a 24 or 12 volt charge controller. It's a 10 amp. Bought that on Amazon, and I'm gonna be using those other panels as soon as I want to put about 500 watts on the camper itself. Then I'm gonna take the small one I got from Harbor Freight, put it on the small camper. You have to be real strategic in what you're doing, but it's working. I really hope this battery holds out until that tank's empty. We'll see. So I have a 2-inch threaded fitting on the IBC tote with just a regular faucet. It just glues in. That's a glue in, threaded on one end, glue in on the other, and put a fitting for a hose bib. We've got 2 hoses. I did have to take and use this fitting here. Got it in our yard sale stuff that I bought, and then this hose actually came with the pump. As long as the battery takes and holds out, I think we'll be doing okay. It may run out before the water drains out. I don't know. It's pretty muddy. The pig seems to be enjoying it. She's enjoying the mud. We never could find anybody who wanted her. She's growing. She's still growing. Even if she had a litter of pigs, she's still growing. I got to get her fed. Mix up the chickens some feed. We got one hen. She's acting kind of weird. She's broody, and they ain't even had a rooster in there. As far as I know, she's never been with a rooster. But she's broody, and she sits on nothing sometimes and just swells up and gets all mad at you. So I think she's kind of going kind of senile. I'm hoping here in the near future to get a rooster. The rooster that Rob and Susan brought down here, sadly he didn't make it. I'm not sure what happened, whether he got too hot or what, but he didn't make it. He died, and he seemed to be getting along really well with the ladies. He just passed on, so not sure what happened there. But these two, they're still laying eggs. She's being broody. I chase her off the nest, break her up. She'll sit on that other hen's eggs. I chase her off every day, sometimes 3 times a day, but she's just being broody. Sometimes hens do that. I'm gonna get this done, and then we're gonna go get our other surprise here in a little while. We got all the water transferred from this tank over to this tank, and the battery held up for the whole duration of pumping. Took about 45 minutes, I would say. 35, 40 minutes probably. I didn't really time it. I've got to take this off and a few other things out of here. And we've got to load something else in here to go get our other surprise today. So far, I'm really happy with the Drummond. Come from Harbor Freight again. 12 volt inline. It's not a submersible, it's inline. It does come with a few things that you can drop into, like a pool of water or a tank, even a swimming pool. It comes with a filter that goes on there. It does come with one hose, and it's hose ready. I had to use that other fitting to make it work for me, but it comes with those. It also comes with another gasket and another little gear to replace in case it runs out. It does get pretty hot. It's still probably hot to the touch. Just got through using it. I don't think it's meant to run continuously for 45 minutes. I think it's meant to run in intervals, which would work really good for an RV or an off-grid situation where you want to pump water. You could hook this up to a pressure tank, a set of points with a battery and a solar panel, and you could have pressurized water inside your camper or your off-grid cabin, something like that. Pump water. Again, it does come with some extra parts, so you can use it. It was about 50 bucks. You can't take it back to Harbor Freight. You do have to contact the company you get it from. They give me a little paper. It's in the boxes up there with the extra parts. If it goes bad, I think it has a year warranty on it. So far so good. Like it. Again, Ann and Isaac bought one to pump water to the horses, and they're still using theirs, and it's been running good for almost a year. Not quite a year, maybe about 10 months. They bought it back in the winter. They used it all winter, pumping water out of a tank into the horse trough. They're still using it, so hopefully it holds up. We're going to see how it does. I'm hoping to use this product in some other projects around the homestead, so keep an eye out for it. Again, if you need something like that, picked it up at Harbor Freight, about 50 bucks. But you said pigs are not sustainable, and they're not. We have this sow here, and this Berkshire Hampshire cross pigs came up on Facebook Marketplace. Don't look at Facebook Marketplace. And they were reasonably priced for what they were. And I just want to I want to talk to you a second about kind of what's going on in America today. All the conditions are right for a food shortage. We've got drought all through the Midwest. Even the Northwest is feeling it. Crops, if you're looking at futures, I don't necessarily look at what the news has to say. I look at the forecasts and the stock market and the commodities, and they're all looking short this year. The other thing is beef. There's going to be a shortage on beef. There's not enough meat packing plants open. Conditions are getting worse. The price of meat is going up, and just supply chains. I read an article not that long ago, and it was a trucking article. A lot of companies are suffering from a driver shortage. All these conditions make for a perfect storm. And as I got to thinking about the time I believe it's going to hit, I could have another litter of pigs. Now, I've got these two that I can take and I can butcher. I can castrate him after he breeds her. I could take and butcher one, but if I have a litter and then have another litter after that, it could keep me in pigs to well into next year, and to be able to barter and trade. People are going to be looking for meat. This is meat. There's a lot of things that I've been thinking about here lately that have been really strong on my mind. And I urge you folks, if you don't have some emergency food supplies, if you don't have a way to have meat, if you don't know how to barter, start taking and figuring it out. Because I've told people things before, and they happened. I mean, who would have thought that you go to the grocery store and bacon's $8 a pound? You find it cheaper in places, but particularly Walmart, stuff like that. But then around here, and I don't know how it is in other parts of the country, supplies are low. You don't find a lot of stuff that you would normally find in surplus in a lot of the other areas of the country. So this is kind of my insurance, my security blanket, if you will. I want to have meat readily available, and I also want to have animals to trade. I am going to have to get creative. Going to the feed store, the big box feed stores, and buying grain is not sustainable. So we're going to have to figure something else out. So that's why we're doing this. They're not as sustainable as sheep for what we have. And I always look at worst case scenarios. What if we, can't get to town? What if we can't get feed for these animals? Then we may have to free range them. We may have to put up some electric fence and let them eat lizards and roots and whatever. But sheep would be a whole lot easier. And we still intend on getting sheep. It's just this was here and it was available. And I got this pig. He's a really good looking pig. He's got big hocks. He's gonna make a big pig, and to have him butchered out, maybe by that time, we're hoping, if everything goes right, then we'll have a big enough solar system to run a freezer, and we can put him in it. But he is a good looking boar. He comes from some good genetics. The people actually come out of Florida that we got him from, so hopefully he makes a really good daddy, and we turn out some good pigs for trade, for butcher, whatever the case may be. So I've got to get busy making a little bit bigger pen here for them. Probably going to start on that maybe by the end of the week. You get to see some of that, but we've got a lot to do, and still got a lot to do on the place. I get up every morning and I try to get something done every day. I've rattled on long enough. Just want to bring you that. That was our surprise for the day. Guess we're not getting out of pigs. She's a peculiar pig. She was treating him pretty rough. Slam him against the fence, and she'd go away, but he'd get too close, she'd kind of rough him up. So I'm gonna leave her in that little pen for now. We intend on cutting this pen in half, and I've got to add some wire around the bottom and fence this off for these pigs. I'll open it up, give him more room to get away from her, but in the meantime he can maybe be safe while she gets used to him. I'm gonna feed them right there near one another and see if she kind of mellows out. I just paid good money for him. I certainly don't want her ripping him open. She's got some pretty good tushes, so I don't want her ripping him open. I don't want to take that chance. So I've separated them for tonight, just using this old chain link panel we got out of that warehouse. He's got a place over there in the shade, and I can make it better tomorrow. This is one piece. It was easy to do. She'll have a hard time moving it. It's pretty heavy, and I've got it wired down, so she'll have to do quite a bit of rooting if she gets out there, but I don't think she will. Maybe they can get used to one another. Pigs, they're peculiar, man. Seems like all animals are to some extent. We'll see what happens, but always taking and rolling with the punches. Maybe she'll get used to him in a few days and they'll be all right with one another. I just don't want to take the chance tonight of him getting hurt and seeing all that money go down the drain. So update on the Suburban. Had a buddy of mine recently met, and he come by and looked at it. He was a mechanic. He went to mechanic school, and he told me the first place that he would, after hearing it try to start, he said the very first thing that he would try to do is put a crank sensor on it. The old one was really oily and wasn't in that great a shape. It's right near the front main seal, which leaks a lot of oil. So we're going to cross our fingers and hopefully this will fix it. But he said that's where he would start first. So we're going to start a process of elimination. We're getting fuel, we're getting spark. He said it's got to be something to do with a computer. So this is 66 bucks. Let's see if it fires it up. All right, got that $66 part put in there. Gonna put the hot water back on the battery and cross our fingers. Not really. I'm just hoping it starts. I think it's got plenty of fuel. That's pretty pressurized. Just backfired through the intake and blowed the breather off of it. Wish I'd have got it on camera. That didn't fix it. You hope and you pray it's something simple. It wasn't something simple, but good try anyway. I had a feeling a long time ago, before the virus, before everything, I told my wife, I said, something's fixing to happen. I didn't know exactly what, but I knew something was going to happen. And it has driven food prices up, it's driven gas prices up, it's driven a lot of things up. So prepare yourselves. You heard it here. Prepare yourselves. And if you don't need it, if there's not a food shortage, if things aren't as bad as I think they're going to be this winter, then you still got food. Buy stuff you like to eat. Buy non-perishable. Buy the staples. You can always add stuff to staples. If you're a hunter, you know, if you've got flour and cornmeal and salt and pepper and beans and rice, rabbit tastes pretty good with all of them. Deer, elk, fish. These are things that if you don't know how to do, get out there and try to figure out how to do them. Get with somebody who will mentor you, who will take and disciple you on how to take and not only kill, catch, and clean, but also prepare in the frying pan. There's a lot of good channels out there that can show you that. Until next time, pray hard, stay strong, ride on.